Hey, welcome World Entertainment. And James Gunn goes out there all the time and says, I don't lie, I never lied. And yet, he always seems to be caught out in lying. And one of the things he has said, which he now has changed, which confirms you lied then, is he said he never does reshoots. Remember that. It was one of the things he prided himself on is, I don't do reshoots. I've never done reshoots. I make sure it's the best product possible before we release it. And now he's confirmed that Superman is confirmed to be going for reshoots after test screenings. Yep, so not just has he test screened this thing, but he's going back to reshoot parts of the movie. Now, it doesn't sound like it's these massive reshoots like we get with Marvel. At least you would hope it isn't that case. It sounds very much like there's elements in there that people have reacted negatively to, and he's gone, okay, we have time and the ability to go back and change that. But of course, what the thing does do, providing they kept money aside for a minute, if they didn't, it will run the budget up a bit. But let's have a look at this where he has confirmed that yes, indeed, this thing has been test screened and now they're scheduling in reshoots. So, the DCU's Superman is arguably one of the most anticipated movie releases of this year, with fans equally excited and nervous to see James Gunn bring us a new depiction of the Man of Steel on the big screen. As well as debuting David Cornsweet as Superman, the film will also be the first theatrical release in the new DC universe, which was officially kickstarted with 2024's animated series Creature Commandos. Principal photography wrapped last year on the film, and the film is currently in the editing process ahead of its July 11th release date. But Gunn has confirmed that some reshoots may come between now and then. During a press conference attended by Nerds of Color, yippee, Gunn addressed potential reshoots for Superman. The writer and director confirmed that the first test screenings of the film have taken place. Gunn said, "We've done screenings. We've done real screenings. Definitely learning stuff all the time. Definitely editing and making little changes." So that's what he said to start with. Despite reshoots being a normal part of filmmaking process, the DCEU's rocky history with extensive reshoots, especially on Justice League, have conditioned fans to feel nervous whenever the word is said. Gunn confirmed that there may be some reshoots for Superman, although they're nothing to be concerned about. Then he said this, we might shoot a couple little tiny things, the director explained. According to Gunn, Superman's reshoots won't be fixing major problems. Instead, there'll be small alterations. Saying this, all my additional photography is so hard because it's like, I used to be kind of against it. Because, you don't want to have to shoot it again. It's a pain in the ass. But as time has gone on and I've made more movies, I really like being able to say, you know what, I wish I shot that fist hitting that. And so I do tend to go back and pick that kind of stuff up. So it wouldn't be anything major. But those kinds of things, yeah, I'll cover you a couple more things like that. So he's saying there that, it's nothing major. It's, oh, I wish I did this. Oh, wait, I can actually go back and do that. To start with, that's BS. You don't do that after test screenings. You don't do test screening and then go, ooh, I should have the fist hit that. No, test screening is somebody in the audience went, we don't like how that part looked. We don't like that kind of part of dialogue there. And this part here doesn't work. And that's what you go and fix. You don't test screen it. The audience go, it's brilliant. And then you go, actually, I want to go back and make them hit that thing with the fist or do this or do that. No, that doesn't happen. The test screening is what makes the director go, what's the issues that you have? They say this, or this. And then you can go back. Providing, of course, it's not What's our problem? Oh, the entire bloody movie, because that's when you get to the point of a Captain America Brave New World where it's, oh, we're going to have to reshoot this thing from scratch. Now, keep in mind, the test screenings that did that with Captain America was internal. It wasn't to audiences, it was to the main people in Disney and Marvel themselves. They were shown it and they went, oh, you can't release this, change it. This doesn't sound like it's that case, at least from what James Gunn is saying. That doesn't sound like the case. However, now that he's confirmed that there has been test screenings, now he's saying real test screenings, which would indicate that he has shown an audience, not an internal one. That could potentially be problematic, because this is where we start getting leaks, where people who've seen it start putting it on 4chan and Reddit and all these places and going, saw Superman and this is what it is. And you end up getting, it's a disaster, it's great, it's mediocre, it's whatever. But people will come back and go, oh, these people are just lying, they're just looking for clicks and stuff. And the issue you'll have now is the fact that Gunn has confirmed that he has screened this movie. Again though, when he says, I never do reshoots, and by the way, there is a difference between a reshoot and a pickup shoot, because, and this is where it kind of falls back into him saying, oh, I wish I had the fist hit this thing that way. That's a pickup shot. So that is when you look at a scene and you go, oh, the angle wasn't particularly right on that, or you should have had him do this. So we'll go and we'll do a pickup shot, which is, we're just going to fix that. We're not going to change the scene or anything like that. We're just going to actually move the camera to this angle and we'll redo that shot, or we will film it from this angle and we want you to add in like this punch or whatever. That's a pickup shot. A reshoot is where you are actually fundamentally changing scenes and significant chunks of scenes. So we'll go with an example, take Terminator 2, okay? So imagine when the scene happens of John Connor telling the Terminator, the T-800, show them who you are, to Miles Dyson. Now, imagine the original scene of that was he turns around and starts talking or something. He gets the knife or he kind of jabs it into his chest or something and then just starts speaking, goes, now listen to me very carefully. The audience could have seen that. You do a test screen and the audience goes like, that's a stupid way to do that. That's when you get that whole scene changed, you know. That's when a reshot of that would be, okay, Miles Dyson's actually shot. You know, maybe he wasn't shot in the first one. Maybe he trips and Sarah stands over him with the gun and tells him, you know, I'm not going to let you do it and stuff, but doesn't actually shoot him or anything like that. The reshoot would be, okay, we're actually changing this scene. We're actually going to have Sarah, you're actually going to shoot Miles in the shoulder. He's going to be on the ground. The wife is going to come in. The kid's going to come in. You're going to break down into tears, which you didn't do in the first scene. Then when the T-800 stuff arrives, instead of John saying, hey, show them who you are, and he stabs himself in the chest and then just says, now listen to me very carefully, we're going to actually cut the skin off the arm. You're going to do this big reveal of the endoskeleton mechanics under the arm. That's a reshoot. A pickup shot would be, okay, we filmed this scene, how it is in Terminator 2 of the skin being cut off the arm, so, but we put the camera behind Arnold's shoulder and it didn't look right, so we're just going to move the camera to the front. That's a pickup. So you see where the difference is, where one fundamentally changes the scene, the other just goes, it's the same scene, just we're going to move the camera, or we'll have a bit of dialogue changed a tiny bit here or there. So when James Gunn is saying reshoots, again, that still shouldn't be concerning, but it does kind of go, well, that's not you editing from the standpoint of, oh, I wish I did this instead of just that. That's not a pickup. That's a pickup. So what exactly he's talking about with reshoots, it's possibly that some of the scenes don't look right and they have to go. For instance, again, I know we're kind of waffling on a bit here, but for instance, that scene that we got of in that last The Flight clip where Corn Sweat's eyes looked googly, like they looked like they were going in opposite directions, and people went, "Ooh, the CGI looks terrible in this," and he came out and went, "That's not CGI, that's all in camera, that's real and stuff." That could be one of those moments that he's talking about of, we're going to fix that. Again, he probably shouldn't have said reshoots as opposed to pick up shots. But that could be one of those things that maybe he will go back and fix it. Maybe people saw that in the test screening and said, like, it looks worse on the big screen. And maybe that's kind of that moment of, oh, we better actually fix that. So that's the kind of thing he could be talking about. But either way, for a guy who says he never does pick-up shots, I'm pretty sure he also says he never does test screenings. Here we are sitting here now, hearing James Gunn say, we've done real test screenings and we're going to be doing reshoots. It's weird. And it does seem to be a bit chaotic over there at the moment. But anyway, that's the news. Superman has officially test screened and they will be doing, it's either going to be reshoots of big scenes or pick-up shots. And the way he's explaining it, it sounds like pick-up shots, but either way, it's getting edited in some form. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.